What if I told you that one of the most famous universities in the world is actually older than one of the greatest empires of the Americas? It sounds completely unbelievable, right? But it's true. Let's travel back in time, way back, to a period that will totally reset your understanding of history. Our story starts in England, in the year 1096. This wasn't the England of Shakespeare or Queen Victoria. This was a time of castles, knights, and the Norman conquest was still a recent memory. In the small town of Oxford, something truly remarkable was beginning to take shape. Small groups of masters and scholars started gathering, teaching subjects like theology, law, and medicine. This was the very beginning of Oxford University. There wasn't a grand campus yet, no iconic spires dominating the skyline. It was just a fledgling community of learning, but it was a seed that would grow into the oldest university in the English-speaking world. For context, this was happening during the First Crusade. The world was a very, very different place. Now let's hop across the Atlantic Ocean to Mesoamerica. While scholars were debating philosophy in Oxford, the people who would later be known as the Aztecs were a nomadic tribe, wandering through what is now modern-day Mexico. They were called the Mexica, and their story was one of migration and searching for a divine sign. According to their legends, their god Huitzilopochtli told them to build their home where they saw an eagle perched on a cactus, devouring a serpent. For years they journeyed, looking for this specific omen. Back in England, Oxford was growing. By the 12th century, it was a well-established centre of learning, attracting students from all over Europe. The first colleges started to form, creating the unique structure that Oxford is still famous for today. Think about it. While the Mexica was still on their epic journey, students in Oxford were already living in residential halls, attending lectures, and building a legacy of academic excellence that would span centuries. It's a mind-bending parallel to consider. It wasn't until the year 1325 that the Mexica finally found their sign. On a small, swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco, they saw the eagle on the cactus, just as their god had prophesied. This was it. This was their promised land. Here, they founded their magnificent capital city, Tenochtitlan. They were incredible engineers. They built causeways to connect the island to the mainland, and developed a complex system of canals and floating gardens, called chinampas, to feed their growing population. Tenochtitlan quickly grew into one of the largest and most sophisticated cities in the world at the time, a bustling metropolis of pyramids, palaces, and markets. So let's do the math. Teaching at Oxford began in 1096. The city of Tenochtitlan, the heart of the Aztec Empire, was founded in 1325. That's a gap of 229 years. Oxford University is more than 2 centuries older than the Aztec capital. It's a fact that completely challenges our typical timelines. We often think of the Aztecs as an ancient civilization, and they were, but in the grand tapestry of world history, their empire was a relatively recent and incredibly bright flash of brilliance. The Aztec Empire, from the founding of its capital to its eventual fall to Spanish conquistadors in 1521, lasted less than 200 years. During that same period, Oxford University was already an old, venerable institution. It had been producing scholars, theologians, and leaders for generations. It had survived plagues, wars, and political turmoil. While the Aztec warriors were expanding their empire across Mesoamerica, Oxford scholars were debating the works of Aristotle and pioneering new fields of study. This isn't to say one is better than the other. It's simply a fascinating comparison of 2 completely different worlds developing on their own unique timelines. The Aztecs created a complex society with rich art, a unique calendar system, and impressive architectural feats, all in a very short amount of time. Meanwhile, Oxford was slowly and steadily building an intellectual tradition that would influence the entire globe. What this incredible fact really shows us is that history isn't a single, linear story. It's a collection of millions of different stories happening all at once, all over the world. The timeline we learn in school often focuses on one region at a time, making it easy to forget that while one empire was rising, another continent away, a university was already celebrating its bicentennial. It forces us to look at the world with a wider lens and appreciate the incredible diversity of human achievement. The next time you see a picture of Oxford's ancient spires, remember that they were already standing long before the first stone of the Aztec capital was ever laid. It's a powerful reminder that our perception of ancient is all a matter of perspective. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical deep dives that will change the way you see the world. See you in the next one.